Good morning, what is going on, guys? Lawson here. So this morning we are doing a Saltwater Whopper Plopper challenge right there. So this is just a black Whopper Plopper, and really the challenge is to see how many fish we can catch on a Whopper Plopper this morning in salt water. You know, they're designed for largemouth bass, pike, muskie, but they can definitely work in salt water. And I've used them before and I've caught a few fish, but this is a fresh bib right out of the package, and we're going to see if we can get it done today. This is just black and yellow, just one of my favorite color patterns right there. Is some black with some chartreuse or yellow in the nose and all around, so this should do well. But we got a really overcast morning, which is definitely going to play in our favor, and we're going to see if we can maybe get into some big snook, big jack, maybe even some tarpon on the plopper. But we got to get throwing.
Aside from my soul,
So I've talked about this before in older videos. When I'm approaching a seawall, you can see it behind me. It's still like 100 yards behind me. I will cut my motor off about 100 yards away from a seawall and then just coast up to it with the trolling motor. I think that outboard motors really can just turn fish off from biting. Maybe not if you're throwing a live mold on their head, they might be a little less wary, but if you're throwing artificials, I just want everything to be playing in my favor. So I'll cut my motor off 100 yards before I even get to the seawall, approach really quietly, and sometimes it helps a lot. It makes a big difference when getting on some fish. Ooh, come on. Again, I think that was a snook. Gosh, dude, that was, come on. That was definitely a snook, it looked like to me. It wasn't a huge one, but he liked that, like, ripping and pausing. He just blasted it right out of the air, right out of the water, and never connected that. Alright, we've had a location change, still throwing the plopper obviously, but we're working a dock line, and we're going to be just making really long search casts. One thing that's kind of unfortunate about the Whopper Plopper is that because of the unique nature of the tail, if you bang this too hard against the seawall, this back wire will bend out and the tail won't spin right, and you can adjust it and manually tweak it to get it back to running properly, but it's a big pain in the neck. So we're going to try to fish some open water with it and see how it works. Crap. Starting to pour. Well, it's sprinkling right now, but it's gonna pour. I can tell. I need to put my big camera away. It's nice and light right now, but I can see we're about to get freaking hammered by some rain. Now, the GoPro, I don't really mind if it gets that wet. It's pretty good. I have a casing around it where it's not the waterproof casing, but it still provides a little bit of protection, so it should be okay as long as it's not torrential, which it might be. Oh, it might be here in like 5 seconds. But if this gets too bad, we'll put the the waterproof casing on, but I think we should be all right. But here we go. Oh, this isn't even bad. This is just nice. This is like what you live for when you're trying to topwater fish. Is just a little light rain like this. All right, a little less light now. Oh, I just got nailed. Come on, one more time, one more time, one more time. There he is. Oh, wait, off. No, he's just coming towards us. I think it's just a little jack, right? Bluefish. It's a foul-hooked bluefish on the Whopper Plopper. He did swing at it about 3 or 4 times, though. Woo! Flip him in. Yeah, baby. First fish, Saltwater Whopper Plopper challenge right there, bluefish. Not a huge one, but get the ball rolling. Off you go, buddy. Awesome. Torrential rain pour, throwing a Whopper Plopper, catching fish though. We're gonna keep rolling. Oh, I was getting followed by something freaking huge. Crap. Damn it. That's why you always reel up to the boat, and I know better than that. I know way better than that. and I pulled it about 3 feet, and then there's a huge tail wake behind my lure. I'm just gonna really gently pull this little guy across the top, almost like it's just a finger mullet kicking right at the surface. Oh! Right there. Big bluefish. Big bluefish. Oh my gosh. He's not huge, but no, he's big. He's big. He's not a monster, but he's a good one. Whew. I paused it and then, oh, stay down, buddy. It's a handsome guy. Oh, yeah. It's a nice one. Big old Taylor. Freaking stud, dude. Let's go for a landing. I have a net, but I'm gonna grab him. Gosh, you guys see this? Why not use a net? Sometimes you just gotta get down and dirty with them. That's a big blue. That's a pretty studly Florida bluefish right there on a whopper plopper to boot. That was awesome, and he ate right by the boat. These guys fight like dogs. That was amazing. All right, let's release this ham sandwich here. Gosh, how beautiful is that, like purple shimmer and dark blue back, purple side, silver bottom. He's starting to finally kick off. I've been babying this fish for probably close to 5 minutes now. Took a lot of doing, but finally released that bluefish. I mean, that was pretty cool, man. 2 bluefish pretty close in a row right as that rainstorm was coming in. It's past now, but we might have another one come through, which I'm actually hoping one does. But whopper plopper, catching some big old blues for us right here. That one, man, I took probably 7 or 8 minutes for him to revive, and he swam off really slow, even after me sitting there for a while with him, but I think he should be all right. But I'm gonna retie because I got some nicks in this leader from those bluefish's teeth, but whopper plopper getting it done today. Oh God. Alright, that is terrifying. I need to move so I don't get electrocuted. I may really regret this. I'm gonna go further back into the river so I can kind of get away, because it looks like this storm is gonna pass in front of me maybe, but right where I am right now kind of looks like I'm on the tail end of it. That is some freaking darkness, so we gotta move. I got a real serious storm head rolling in behind me, and unfortunately I'm almost a little too far away from the ramp right now to even make my way back, so I don't really know. I'm just gonna have to take shelter near a bridge or whatever. I still want to try to fish a little bit, and I'm just driving away from the storm as much as I can, but it's a pretty big storm and it might last a while, and I'm about 3 to 4 miles away from the ramp, so we're gonna try to play it safe and at least get around some bridges and stuff like that. I got all my rods lowered. We should be all right, but not a good situation, but I think we'll be okay. All right, lightly raining, still got this big thunderstorm kind of bearing down on us, but I'm trying to be safe and take precautions as I can, because I moved myself into a little bit smaller area where it's more fishing a canal right now, and I'm in literally 200-yard distance of a bridge, and then another like 300 yards of another big giant bridge that I can take shelter on if the storm really starts getting bad on me. Just saw a tarpon roll right there. Yeah, we're trying to fish, but we're taking precautions in our positioning that'll allow us to still be semi-safe, you know? Alright, so I've taken refuge under the bridge for the moment. Every chirping, all these little chirping sounds you hear right now, like these really high-pitched, irritating sounds, those are all bats. There's bats that are hiding in the cracks of these bridges. I'll show you. Like these cracks like that, there's little bats in there. They hide pretty far up in there, so they're hard to see, but So the plan was really I was just gonna kind of try to wait out the storms, and then when the storms pass, gonna get back to throwing the Whopper Plopper and see if we can catch a few more fish. But if I stay out here any longer, I might get stuck out here for 4 hours or so. There's a huge storm coming, and I have a tiny break. There's still a lot of lightning and thunder around. Like I just heard about 5 minutes ago a humongous crack and just saw a huge lightning bolt go across the sky, not very far away from me. But we'll have to make a judgment call here and just hightail it and see if we can get back to the ramp before the next big patch rolls in. Because right now it's almost like we're in a very light area of rain and thunder, and then it's going to be constant for 4 hours after this. As much as I'd like to stay out, I think I got to make a run for it.
Now there goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight from my soul.
Back at the house, you know, it's kind of a bummer getting rained out like that, but still managed to catch 2 bluefish. One was a nice sized one, had a few hits. You know, it wasn't exactly the result I want today, but I mean, it's only 9 a.m. right now. I only got to fish for about 2.5 hours before I got really knocked off the bite and knocked off the water from this big old storm that's rolling through. And I mean, that's just kind of how it goes in the summer in Florida, is you just really had to look at the weather radar and play it by ear and just try to get out there, and if it doesn't happen, you can run in. If you can dodge the storms, even better. But you know, it's interesting having that rain come through and it instantly turned on the topwater bite. I really wasn't having any action, any follow-ups at all the whole morning. It started raining, I started throwing it, and I really started connecting with some fish and getting a lot more follows. It just shows you how important that lighting makes all the difference when you're throwing a topwater. And I mean, whether it's dark and overcast out, if there's a bright sun, fish really aren't that keen on striking a topwater when it's really bright out. But when you have that overcast conditions, it really can fire them up and trigger them and get them going. But you know, I would have liked to catch a few more fish, but that's just the way it goes sometimes with the weather here in Florida. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not already. That is it. I appreciate you guys very much.